But
Yeah,
when
that
you have it
stuff
all
costs money
integrated,
too. I mean, you have to get a home inspector out. Let's just say that's $500. Now you're going to have, if he determines that you have these problems, now you're going to have to get an engineer out there. Now the engineer is going to cost you several $1,000s to come up with a plan. Now he's going to charge you to draw the plan. Now you got to find a contractor and you've got to get a set of blueprints drawn. Now you're going to have to pull your permits, and so when you add up that front end cost, you could be into 10 grand in a heartbeat. And so what we're saying is we can, with the AI, we can collapse all of that into one automated flow, and you're into a situation where it's in the hundreds of dollars, not the thousands of dollars. A DIY plan set from us. Well, another thing too is we've done a lot of white papers and studies on this, but if you look at those 37 million homes that are out there, the average cost to be able to remediate runs between $20,000 and $40,000. That's the average range to be able to harden your house. That's a lot of money, but it's not, like you're building another house. And in this particular case, if we have to spend 10,000 of those dollars in order to be able to know what to fix, now it's a $50,000 proposition. So in this case, also, if you want to do it yourself, you could buy. We basically are trying to get a network together with people like Home Depot and Lowe's and Menards, to where that if you in fact want to do this work yourself, which is totally acceptable to do it, and you can do that in a lot of jurisdictions without a permit. And of course, it's you have to know what exactly is going on. Some things require it. That's where the contractor is really the better way to go. But let's say you're going to do it yourself.
says
In
the
those,
guy with a GC license.
yeah, no, well,
Small
I
plug.
do. I mean, it is one of those things that always hire a professional. I mean, if you got a tumor in your brain, you're really going to go and hire a plumber. Okay, and that's not to down on plumbers either. I mean, I tell people that there's two occupations that I have great respect for because I can't do it. One of them is working on your car. If you don't want your car to ever run again, have me work on it. And then the same thing applies to plumbing. These guys, I mean, I have two friends that are really good plumbers, and one of them's married to a niece of mine. And I tell him, I said, what you guys do is a black art. It's kind of like something straight out of Shakespeare and the three witches in the mountain and the cauldron. And he was going, yeah, I know. That's why it takes 10 years to become a master plumber. It's not as easy as it looks that you're going to go fix the flapper in your toilet, as
Yeah,
far as that
that's
goes.
like normal plumbing stuff. By the way, just for your knowledge, my father also has a GC license in Florida. And I would help him on the
Okay.
job site. And I was
Yeah.
reminded about the story that you're talking about with plumbing. This is definitely a sidebar, by the way. Was that a plumber came in and they put this clamp on this water line, and they froze it with liquid nitrogen, and then they cut the pipe open, and they're like, we've got 35 minutes until this water line, because it was like part of the city and they can't close it down, so they've got to freeze it,
Yeah.
cut the pipe, change the molding of the piping to fit the new
The new
architecture or whatever they're
standards and
doing.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and then and then also get it to work, and then weld it back together, all of that. And they had to do some pipe
Ambitious.
bending and other stuff, and it's just like, this is a lot. Like
I
there's
see
a
how
lot
you
going
can get
on.
that many people in a hole to do that. That sounds like a lot of different talents that are all going to have to touch it.